Hey everybody, I am Kevin Iole. Thank you for joining me. UFC 312 is Saturday in the US, Sunday in Sydney, Australia, And joining me right now is a guy that I am really excited to see fight, a guy that I have heard a lot about. I talked to some UFC brass and they said, this guy can fight. Believe me, this guy can fight. And of course, you might recognize the face, the brother of the featherweight champion, Aleksandre Topuria. How are you, Alexander?
Hello, Kevin. Everything good? How are you?
It is great to see you. I appreciate it. You'll be fighting Colby Thicknesse. So let's start with this. You had a late opponent change. That's got to be a little bit difficult, I would imagine, for somebody making their UFC debut to have to change so late. How has that been for you?
So I take it normal, you know. It is what it is. This stuff like that happen, you know. I wish him good recovery to kill the hat done. And now my opponent is Colby. So everything good. Thanks God I have fight.
You have probably heard Dana White say many times that the jitters in the UFC are real and that fighters get nervous no matter where they fought before when they get in the UFC. How do you feel? Are you nervous going into this fight? Are there butterflies there?
No, absolutely not. I feel very good. I'm prepared, you know. When you work hard, for sure, obviously the nerves of fight is if you play chess, you get nervous.
Right.
Any competition, it's something natural, you know. There is nobody who like I don't know nobody. I never heard nobody like get nervous. One thing is nerves and another thing is fear.
Mm-hmm.
So nerves is always welcome, you know, it's very, very important. And about the fear, I work hard to not have like fear or some insecurity before I go inside the cage. So right now I'm very good in very good shape, very prepared, and so that's it. Feel great, feel blessed. The hardest part is right now cutting the weight, but still I'm good. Still, thanks God for everything.
For people who don't know, Alexandre is, first of all, he is a minus 380 favorite. Colby Thicknesse is plus 300. Alexandre is 5-1 with five finishes. So he's kind of like Ilia in the fact that he doesn't make these fights go on a long time. Um, how would you say your fight style compares to Ilia? Like people who know Ilia and see him, do you have similar styles?
So there's like something similar, something different. Definitely, we have the same school, yes,
Right.
uh, of fighting, and we are similar, but at the same time, you're gonna see things that you never see in him, and for sure, you see things in Ilya that you're never gonna see in me.
Sure.
But yes, for sure, I think the we have the main goal of us inside the cage always is finish the fight. But like you see, if he had to fight 5 rounds, nobody was thinking that he can handle it like 5 rounds hard fight, and you saw it. You know, you saw it in his debut. You see 3 rounds. You see with Josh Emmett 5 rounds, and yes, for now you didn't see me fighting 3 rounds or 5 rounds, but I fight inside the gym every day, 10, 15 rounds. So
Oh my God.
yes.
I thought you were going to say like 7 rounds to be, 10 or 15 rounds. Um, what is that like? Like when you're putting yourself through that kind of, because that is pretty intense, 10 rounds at MMA is a pretty intense workout. How does your body
Yeah,
feel at
for
the end?
sure, fighting is a little bit different. 10 rounds, it's gonna be with MMA gloves.
Right.
Depends for sure. Who's your opponent? When you have some opponent who like punch all the time, for sure, taking punches 10 rounds, it's not easy for sure.
Yeah.
Sparring is a bit different. You have some protections, but at the same time, you can go hard. It's like, yes. So it's a little bit different, but not everyone can like fight 10, 15 rounds.
A lot of times the most conditioned fighter is able to win the fights, right? Because everybody at the UFC level is a terrific fighter. So a lot of times that conditioning makes a big difference. You have not fought in almost 2 years. Why have you been out of the octagon, out of the cage? And is that any concern of yours going into this fight?
So the most important thing was I was booked. I had fight after my fight, like 4 or 5 months. After 4 or 5 months, I supposed to fight, but Ilia get UFC call to fight with Volkanovski, so I have to put everything on side,
Mm,
focus on him, like I did. We get the job done. Thanks God. My plans was a little bit different. Make some fights outside the UFC. I actually spoke with Sean Shelby, and I tell him that I will do some another fight outside the UFC. After that, uh, for sure, if do good, I do good fight and make the weight and everything it's going clear. He sent me the contract, but yes, after Ilya becomes UFC champion, he push to send me UFC contract. I don't even talk with him. He just feel himself like I have to do it because I will do the same.
mm.
The way we pass, because the way everything happened, because I had different plans. I have to put one more time on the side my fight and focused on Ilya's fight. So he feels like, okay, I have to do something because there's also age, it's like, let's go, Alex, let's
Right.
start fighting with the best guys in the world directly. If you believe in yourself like you do and you work hard like you do, and for sure I had to talk with me when they send me UFC contract. It was to me a little bit surprise. I say, okay, now, because I was looking for a fight in another organization, and they gave me this opportunity. So I said, I have two options: accept the UFC contract and start to do everything big, big, and start to deal with everything, because UFC is a little bit different. Yeah, look, I'm sitting with you, and before
Yep.
here I was with five, and I did 5 interviews, in yesterday and all this week and
You've been a busy
before, and
man.
today, and everything is bigger. But I say I can handle with that, and for sure I say for sure I burn for this, you know.
Let me, I want to ask you this. I have interviewed fighters for so many years, and you hear so many of them say you have to be selfish to be a great fighter. So you are obviously a very talented fighter, but because your brother has been so good and you've been helping him, your career has taken a backward step. How difficult was that for you to accept and put so much of your heart into his career and not necessarily specifically into yours?
Brother love, family. For me, this is just sport. For me, everything I do is for my family,
Hmm.
for my close people, for my future, you know. For sure, it's for me too, because if I'm not in good shape and if I don't work in me, I cannot give anybody nothing, you know. But yes, everything I do it's for my family. And if I have to put on the side sport, my career, something like that, because of one of the my family members, I will not think twice. And if I have to give my heart to anybody in my family, because I don't have just brother, I have sisters, I have mother, I have father, I have wife, so if I have to put on my line anything, I will put.
That is good. That's a great way to look at it. Taking care of your family is the most important thing, no doubt.
I
Last
think
question.
the way have every man have to look in this life.
I
For
I
me,
lo-
it's
I love it.
perfect.
I love it. Last question for you. I was going to call you Ilia Alexandre, and we will let you get out of here. Your brother took about 3.5 years to get his title fight from the time he came into the UFC until the time he fought for the title. Do you feel like you can get yourself up into the rankings and be among the top bantamweights in a shorter time period than that, or do you think that that's a pretty realistic goal for you as well?
You know, I'm 29 years old, so I have a lot of time. I'm not focused on how far I will do it. Right now I'm here. I'm enjoying everything this. And I'm climbing the mountain and I don't know how much it's gonna take, but I keep going.
That is
So
very good stuff. Well, you can see Alexander Topuria. He is a minus 380 favorite on Saturday, UFC 312 from Sydney, Australia. Alex, very good talking to you, my friend. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for your time.
thank you very much, Kevin.
God bless.